Americans love scenery. We want to see it all, from one coast to the next, Mount Rushmore down to the Everglades. So hop into a Chevy Malibu and take the scenic route. It's the car you knew America could build. There's a place where people count on friendships they can trace back generations, where they can count on the same stool at the coffee shop waiting for them every morning. This place is called Glen Ellen, and you can find it in every bottle of Glen Ellen wine. This is craft brewed Herman Joseph's, the smoothest, easiest drinking specialty beer in the entire solar system. And I believe you'll find drinkable in the dictionary right after don't order a beer you can't drink. Zoingo! Boingo! The freestyle pogo with more boing, more bounce. Bounce further, bounce higher with Zoingo Boingo. To see what makes Arrowhead Mountain Spring water different from those other waters, you have to go back to the source. And with Arrowhead, that means going back a little farther and longer than most. Between security challenged and security strengthened, there's one important word: how. And it is the how that makes all the difference to our nation and our world. Lockheed Martin. We never forget who we're working for. What makes Kraft Singles so good? 2 out of every 3 kids don't get the recommended amount of calcium. But with Kraft Singles, they get a good source of calcium and the taste they love. Kraft Singles. Magic every single time. Throw boring overboard with a new real meal from Long John Silver's. A meal worthy of a plate, just $4.99. Only at Long John Silver's. We may not all be geniuses, but we can all do something smart. Introducing the Hyundai 199 Sonata Lease. It's a smart deal on a really smart car.
In the UK, the highest honor you can get is if you are called sir. Like that's the big, like you're a knight. It's like sir. If you become sir, that's the highest honor. If you're called sir. In America, it's a little bit different. In America, if you're called sir, it means that you have made a small mistake. Wait behind the yellow line. Not the highest honor. The bigger the mistake, the more shirts you will get. Sir. You're going to have to pay for that, sir.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, Trump Tuesday, November the 4th, and this is The True Conservative. Welcome to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there. I'm Ron, your host, and the only true conservative in the United States today. So today, after the Serenity Prayer and the patriotic song of the day, we will have Varney and Company, motivation, meditation, and President Trump. All that and more when I get back. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I should not change, the courage to change the things I should, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Thank you, Maria, then Stu, if Stu showed up for work.
Let's get some final thoughts from this all-star panel. Ryan.
Well, as usual, thorn between two roses, the way it always goes for me. One piece of economic data I mentioned this morning, I know we're not getting a lot of government data, but the Atlanta Fed is now tracking growth for the third quarter at 4%. Wow. That's red hot. You look, we have consumer spending is still solid. We're talking about lots of capital expenditure today with AI. So I think there is a floor into the labor market because the economy is heating up. Time to be bullish, not foolish, Maria.
I like it. Ryan Payne. Ashley Davis, your thoughts?
Wow, I don't have any catchy thoughts like that. But hey, listen, I'm watching the Supreme Court arguments tomorrow. Let's see what questions come out of Brett Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, Coney Barrett, Roberts. I think then we'll see where this whole tariff conversation is going to be going, or at least have some sort of thoughts on it.
I mean, I think initially, if it goes against the president, the big conversation will be around, well, the U.S. has to pay back like $150 billion, but there's also going to be a call to replace that money. Because when you add up the amount of money that this president has been able to raise on tariffs, that is serious money that could affect the deficit, Ashley.
Well, no, absolutely. That's the argument all along. And I was just getting on there. There are coming up with different ideas of how they can tariff other countries if this is overturned. But listen, are we really going to start writing checks to China and other places? I mean, it's crazy.
That's the issue, but you're right. They have backup plans. Ashley Davis, Ryan Payne, great to be with you this morning. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Maria.
And thank you, everybody, for being with us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday. Varney and Company picks it up now. Stu, take it away.
Hey, good morning, Maria. Good morning, everyone. Donald Trump is not on the ballot today, but he looms large over the vote. In New York City, the socialist Zoran Mandani, he's running against Trump, and if Mandani wins, Trump threatens to deny some federal funding, which the city badly needs. In the New Jersey governor's race, the president has strongly endorsed Republican Jack Ciattarelli. Trump is not on the ballot, but his endorsement has helped close Ciattarelli's gap with the Democrat Mikey Sherrill. In Virginia, voters may blame Trump for the federal job losses which have come with the government shutdown. Again, not on the ballot, but having impact on the vote. And then there's California, which today votes on Prop 50. That's a redistricting measure which would give Democrats more seats in the House. Trump opposes it. Because of that, Nancy Pelosi calls Trump a vile creature and the worst thing on the face of the earth. Her words. I'll call that a new low. To the markets, and first off, let's go to Palantir. Very strong results in the earnings report, but the analysts are concerned about the company's lofty valuation. Does AI justify big tech's multi-trillion-dollar valuation? Palantir right now is down 7.8%, $16 at 190. That's bringing the Nasdaq down. Look at this. The Nasdaq's down 400 points. Lots of other big tech companies on the way down. The Dow's off 200, S&P down 77. Bitcoin all the way back to 103,700. Gold below $4,000 an ounce. You're now looking at 3,980. As for the 10-year Treasury yield, that's down. Well, it's not down much. You're still at 4.10, and the 2-year yield at 3.59%. All right. On the show today, when the voting is done, America may have several socialist mayors. Zoran Mandani in New York, Omar Fateh in Minneapolis, Katie Wilson in Seattle. The shutdown continues, airline disruption getting worse. Senate Leader John Thune says Congress is closing in on an off-ramp. Today the vote, tomorrow the results. It is Tuesday, November the 4th, almost exactly 1 year to the midterms. Varney and Company is about to begin. Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato.
Thank you. And now an article from the American Thinker by Alan Lonkar called It's Not All Relative.
Those not Catholic or Christian can still heed Catholic Archbishop George Ganswine's recent warnings about moral relativism's ills. Examples of this are seen in Europe and in backlash last week against Vice President J.D. Vance. As an idea and way of life, moral relativism leads to a soul's rot. First ambivalence followed by not believing anything worthwhile. At a conference in Lithuania, Ganswein first articulated the dual work of faith and reason. Despite those believing that reason cannot be in harmony with faith, Ganswein said a dimming of either leads to pathologies and the disintegration of the human person. Ganswein further explained that reason is inherently truthful, while relativism weakens freedom as an expression of weak and narrow-minded thinking, based on the false pride of believing humans cannot recognize the truth and the false humility of refusing to accept it. Ganswein spoke on a continent demonstrating chronic symptoms of relativism's disease, equivocating about its identity. Europe contends with perhaps an insurmountable tension between its classic roots on one hand, and on the other an uncontrollable mass migration fused to a liberalism hyperaggressive in throwing off traditional order. Whether this amalgam is tenable is both a political and existential question. It appears Europe is either unable or unwilling to consider a change in course. As for a potential solution, President Trump's America First ethos could be compatible in restoring Europe. Nationalist enthusiasm is a vitality that can have positive effects culturally and perhaps economically. Europe may instead point to 2 world wars fueled by nationalist grievances, evidence that it grapples with past guilt. But what Europe also lacks is a strong interior faith still dynamic in the United States. It is not a coincidence that a large part of MAGA and Republican support comes from the church-going who believe in their country, bringing to mind the U.S. Army Chaplain Corps' motto, Pro Deo et Patria, for God and country. If Europe has faith in God, it could find belief in itself, self-respecting and not self-loathing. If Europe lacks principled beliefs, those espousing noble ones still meet backlash. While moral relativism superficially treats all views equally, the reality is those with conservative views are subject to more scrutiny. One example is Vice President Vance, who also has a history of pointing out Europe's sclerosis. On October 29th, Vance said that he hoped his wife will be somehow moved by the church and convert to Christianity, because I believe in the Christian gospel. Usha Vance, an accomplished attorney, grew up in a Hindu family but attends Catholic services with Vance while raising their children Christian. The backlash was swift, perhaps by those angered with mere mention of the Christian gospel. Vance replied, writing on X about his wife, that she is not a Christian and has no plans to convert, but like many people in an interfaith marriage or any interfaith relationship, I hope she may one day see things as I do. The point to emphasize here is not primarily about interfaith marriage. It is the last part of Vance's quote that subtly retorts relativism's hostility to persuasion, its inability to civilly deal with another's core values. In stating, I hope she may one day see things as I do, Vance speaks not just for Christianity, but more importantly for belief in general, whether it be religious belief or other principled views that animate. What is increasingly despised is having conviction that what made you as a person is worth living for, forming a moral constitution. Those who cynically mock do not have an interior belief worth showcasing to others. The idea that the source of someone's very creation informs their choices, and that this existence is worth proclaiming and sacrificing for, is anathema to leftist thought. In parts of the West, what can follow from this loathing is a disregard for life. Only the left can twist a statement of deep religious belief into a sexist attack, distorting a man's love for family and hope for eternity into paternal ridicule. Between conservatives and radical liberals, who is more cogently able to deal with another's beliefs while living up to their own? The answer to this concerns Ganswein and Vance. Alan Lonker is an attorney in Macomb County, Michigan.
And that was the article from The American Thinker. Back in a minute. Thank you. Something I was thinking about over the past few days about the shutdown, that the important part here is the very end. After they make a deal, then what I'm going to be looking for is to see whether or not either party claims victory. Okay? I doubt it. I think that's going to be part of the negotiations. I think that they're going to say, both parties are going to say that we will not do that. Neither party will. We agree that neither party is going to claim victory. So they'll have this basically an anticlimactic moment. They'll ink a deal. They'll say it's for the good of the American people, and then move on. But without an announcement of victory on either side, then the whole exercise was pointless, and it becomes psychologically demoralizing. Why did we, I get every day 5, 6, 8, 10 messages, emails, phone calls from the Republican Party and from the Democrat Party wanting money, demanding in some cases. In some cases, they actually have the chutzpah to demand my money. Okay? And that's basically what this whole shutdown is really all about. Is about using this as, like they said, leverage to get more money from donors. They want to get whatever they think is the maximum amount they can get from donors. And then at that point, that's when they'll go ahead and close negotiations. But the point is, right now, it's an adversarial relationship. It's the Republicans versus the Democrats. Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to lose. Okay? So whoever it is that wins needs to say so. Hey, the Republicans, it'll be the John Thune in the Senate. It could be the Speaker of the House, maybe both of them, saying Republicans win. We won this battle. We won this fight. This is another reason why, and they don't do it. All the other shutdowns that we've had, never has the Republicans or the Democrats come out and said victory. And this is one of the reasons why I don't donate money on spec. They want money up front. Give us money so that we can win this battle or that battle. And then I give them money and nothing seems to happen. Why? Why bother? So that's why I say you get the job done first, then come and talk to me about money. Winsome Sears in Virginia is always asking me for money. Oh, give me money so I can win the race. I'm behind or ahead or whatever the deal is. And I don't even pay attention. I just delete them. Again, my attitude is once you win, then come and talk to me about getting a donation. Until then, you're going to have to make other arrangements. But again, look and see whether or not the Democrats or the Republicans claim victory. And psychologically, it is vitally important that one of them do. Maybe both. Back in a minute. Thank you now, Giorgia Meloni.
Purtroppo la pace non arriverà perché Landini indice lo sciopero, ragazzi. Non arriva perché l'USB indica lo sciopero. Non arriva perché i magistrati leggono i comunicati sulla Palestina prima delle udienze. Arriva se qualcuno lavora nei tavoli in cui bisogna lavorare.
And that's little Georgia Meloni. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now the preamble to the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, Alice Weidel.
Deutschland. Aus Deutschland geht das nicht. Aus der Türkei sind seit Einstellung der Kriegshandlungen 550.000 syrische Flüchtlinge nach Syrien zurückgekehrt. Also 550.000. Aus dem Libanon 320.000. Aus Jordanien 152.000 Syrer und aus Ägypten und Irak Zehntausende Syrer zurück nach Syrien. Nur aus Deutschland geht das nicht. Unser Außenminister Wadefuhl hat das erklärt, dass das alles gar nicht geht. Und die CDU erklärt uns in Gänze, dass man syrische Flüchtlinge nicht abschieben kann. Eben aus allen anderen Ländern geht das, nur aus Deutschland geht das nicht. Da ist man nicht fähig und auch nicht willens. Ganz im Gegenteil. Deutschland hat eine Nettozuwanderung von Syrern in unser Land allein in diesem Jahr wieder einmal 20.000, denen dann auch noch der deutsche Pass hinterhergeschmissen wird. Und das, obwohl unser Asylgesetz ganz klar sagt, Asyl wird nur gewährt auf Zeit und wenn der Fluchtgrund entfallen ist, müssen die Menschen wieder zurückkehren. Und das geltende Recht wird in Deutschland einfach nicht umgesetzt. Der Bürgerkrieg ist längst vorbei. Assad ist seit einem Jahr Geschichte. Das Scharia-Regime wird üppig von der deutschen Bundesregierung mit deutschen Steuergeldern unterstützt. Und syrische Flüchtlinge in Deutschland machen massenhaft Urlaub in Syrien. Das geht also, aber abgeschoben können sie nicht werden. Und Syrer werden auch üppig und massenhaft mit deutschem Steuergeld im Bürgergeld alimentiert. Wir haben insgesamt 508.000 syrische Staatsbürger im Bürgergeld, die eben auch von den Krankenkassen massiv unterstützt werden, ganz zum Schaden auf Kosten der Beitragszahler. Und wie wir auch wissen aus der polizeilichen Kriminalstatistik, gehören Syrer mit zur Bevölkerungsgruppe nebst Afghanen und Irakern, die die höchste Kriminalitätsbelastung haben, vor allen Dingen bei Rohheitsdelikten wie Mord, massiver Gewaltanwendung, Vergewaltigung. Neue Phänomene führen Syrer zusammen mit Irakern und Afghanen unsere Kriminalitätsstatistik an. Aber diese deutsche Bundesregierung unter CDU-Führung will die Syrer nicht abschieben. Sie werden nicht zurückgeführt, wie das alle anderen Länder machen. Und das halten wir als AfD für absolut fahrlässig und verantwortungslos für den deutschen Steuerzahler, für die innere Sicherheit in unserem Land. Darum sagen wir ganz klar, alle syrischen Flüchtlingen muss der Schutzstatus aberkannt werden, weil der Fluchtgrund entfallen ist. Diese Menschen müssen zurück in ihre Heimat gehen. Wenn sie nicht freiwillig gehen, dann müssen sie abgeschoben werden unter Zwang, denn das bedeutet Abschiebung. Und weiterhin ist es so, dass die Visaerteilung für den Familiennachzug eingestellt werden muss und die Einbürgerung von syrischen Staatsbürgern umgehend gestoppt werden muss. Und ich verspreche Ihnen, wenn die AfD in Regierungsverantwortung ist, dann werden wir ein Moratorium stellen aller Einbürgerungen von syrischen Staatsbürgern und werden sie einer strengen Prüfung unterziehen, inwiefern das rechtlich überhaupt vonstatten gegangen ist. Und wir werden entscheiden, ob es nicht vielleicht besser wäre, diese Menschen zurück in ihre Heimat zurückzuführen. Denn dort werden sie ja gebraucht. Denn wir haben, wie wir ja damals 2015 gemerkt haben, ausnahmslos Raketenwissenschaftler und Zahnärzte geschenkt bekommen, die hochgradig qualifiziert sind, die einen akademischen Abschluss haben, die Berufsabschlüsse haben. Diese Menschen haben wir geschenkt bekommen und die werden unbedingt bei dem Scharia-Regime in Syrien gebraucht. Und dementsprechend müssen wir diesem Land, nicht nur diesem, sondern auch Syrien, dem Scharia-Regime, einen großen Gefallen tun und diese Menschen.
And that was a little bit of Alice Weidel. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now from a book that's called Good Inside. What's the opposite of understanding? For this argument's sake, it's convincing. Convincing is the attempt to prove a singular reality, to prove that only one thing is true. Convincing is an attempt to be right, and as a result make the other person wrong. It rests on the assumption that there's only one correct viewpoint. And then my question is this supposed to be convincing? Further, convincing has one goal in mind, being right. And here's the unfortunate consequence of being right. The other person feels unseen and unheard, at which point most people become infuriated and combative, because it feels as if the other person does not accept your realness or worth. Feeling unseen and unheard makes connection impossible. Understanding two things are true and convincing one thing is true are diametrically opposed ways of approaching other people, so a powerful first step in any interaction is to notice which mode you're in. When you're in one thing is true mode, you're judgmental of and reactive to someone else's experience because it feels like an assault on your own truth. As a result, you will seek to prove your own point of view, which in turn makes the other person defensive because they need to uphold the realness of their experience. In one thing is true mode, exchanges escalate quickly. Each person thinks they're arguing about the content of the conversation when in fact they're trying to defend that they are a real, worthy person with a real, truthful experience. And again, is this convincing? Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, a little Monty Franklin.
What does piss mean in Australia?
Piss is a loaded word in Australia. It can mean a lot of different things. Piss is urinate. Pissed is drunk. Full pissed is very drunk. Bit pissed is tipsy. Pissed as a fart, that is the most drunk that you can be. Piss head is someone who drinks a lot. Get pissed is the act of drinking. Piss up is a party. Piss weak is pathetic. Piss it away is wasting money. Take the piss is tease. Pisser is something that's funny. Pissed off is angry. Piss off means go away. Or it depends how it's said. If someone says, piss off, that means, oh, really? Or, piss off. That means stop pulling my leg.
Wait, what is pulling my leg?
Pulling my leg is lying, basically. I don't know where pulling my leg came from.
Can you use all these piss words in a sentence?
No, we had a piss up last night. I did get a bit pissed. All right, I was pissed. Well, I was full pissed, but I'm not a pisshead. I like getting pissed. Oh, you're pissed off? Piss off. Bit piss weak of you. I wasn't pissed as a fart. Ah, you're taking the piss. Piss off. Piss off. He pissed it all away. That's a pisser.
And that was Monty Franklin. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now, What does the phrase, if you're explaining you're losing, mean in debates? This was said by Ronald Reagan, speaking of political campaigns. From the perspective of your audience, if you have to explain yourself, you come off looking desperate to convince. As a consequence, you lose the high ground. From a more philosophical perspective, when you have a clear conscience and strong conviction towards the positions you take, your values, truth, and direction, you don't need the opinions or consent of others. As a consequence, you don't need to explain yourself. However, if you yourself are not convinced of the validity and truth of your position, or you can't fully justify your choices, then you continue to expel words in an attempt to create the illusion of certainty. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now a little bit of John Cobelt.
On this show, that people get all swept up about Trump one way or the other. And Trump's got nothing to do with the high gas prices, the high electricity prices, the homelessness all over the streets, the crime here. And I can go on and on and on. But none of that has anything to do with Washington, or very little to do with it. But nobody discusses state and local politics and politicians and all their bad policies here. Everything is Washington, D.C. oriented, Trump oriented.
Yeah, and that's partly because of the Trump era, where he's such a charismatic figure that it's hard to avoid talking about him or looking at what he's doing. But yes, that's true. We know more about what's going on a national level than we do in our own backyard. And so we get motivated by things that have nothing to do with what might actually be good for us in our everyday lives. It's actually quite extraordinary. I mean, I'm seeing a change in my community in Pacific Palisades since the fire, and people are much more open to looking at solutions, to looking at what works rather than what party is suggesting it. But there are still people for whom the national political issues organize their thinking about politics. And the rest of the country looks at us and says, why do you keep voting for the same people over and over again? And it's partly because we just don't think about what they're doing, and we don't think about holding them accountable because we don't have a media environment in which that's easily doable. And we need to develop that. We need to develop an idea of what's happening in the state and how we can actually change it. Because ultimately, unless people start holding politicians accountable at the ballot box, we're not going to see anything change.
So, a couple of things on this. Number one, John Cobelt was saying nobody covers the state and the local. He does. And on KBC they do state and local almost exclusively on. There's a show that runs, I think, starting at noon and goes until 2 or 3 o'clock. And so that one covers also local. But the problem is that John Cobelt, all of them, the guy that is on KBC does the same thing, is he preaches to the choir. If they would stop and think, what is it that the Democrats want, and approach the situation from that standpoint. Is the mayor giving the Democrats what they want? Is the governor giving the Democrats what they want? The problem for John is he's stuck on this idea of getting a Republican in those offices. No, it's not going to happen. We have 30 million people in here, and 29.9 million of them are Democrats. They're just not going to vote for a Republican. That's all there is to it. The only influence that we can have is to convince Democrats to vote for better Democrats. Okay? So we look for the weaknesses. What is it that they're failing to do, these politicians, and exploit those weaknesses and talk about it every day. Hey, Democrats, the mayor still hasn't mitigated the damages, the tons and tons of carbon dioxide that she put into the atmosphere by letting the Palisades burn, that type of thing. The other part was that when he was, his guest is a guy that is a journalist and that is leaving Breitbart, and he's going to go and there's a new startup called the California Journal that's going to be starting in next year sometime. So Let's see. Let's play this again and see what.
But there are still people for whom the national political issues organize their thinking about politics. And the rest of the country looks at us and says, why do you keep voting for the same people over and over again? And it's partly because we just don't think about what they're doing, and we don't think about...
There we go. The voting over and over again, that's John Cobelt's fault. John Cobelt and all the other people on the radio is because they only put office holders on their show. Okay, so that's the only people we ever hear from. We don't hear from the challengers. And the bad part about it is that these people that they're putting on the show are getting free airtime. John Cobelt's not charging them the advertising rates. They have a war chest. They have, in some cases, millions of dollars stashed away for their next campaign. And so they come on to John Cobelt's show. They're campaigning. They're always campaigning. They campaign 24/7, 365. Always in the campaign mode. So they want free airtime. They want as much free airtime as they possibly can. So they get on the radio. And John Cobelt, as a matter of fact, as I had said before, was chasing the former district attorney, Gascon, down the hallways, begging him to come on the show for as long as he wanted. He was prepared to give him a full 3 hours. And again, give it to him for free. Not ask him to pay the airtime. Okay. So they're the reason that we vote for the same people over and over again, because those are the only ones we ever hear from. If John Cobelt is so bloody concerned that we have more diversity of opinion, then what he needs to do is start charging people like Gascon for the airtime. You want to come on? That's fine, but you pay for the airtime. You got a war chest, carve out some of that money, pay for the airtime. And then give free airtime to the challengers. Whoever it is that's going to be challenging Gascon should get all the time that they want. So that's the two issues there with good old John Cobelt. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now from the Instagram account, The Older Millennial.
I legitimately feel like I've been thrown into an alternate dimension.
This is the game. Schumer's not wrong. They should be funding those things. But he's the one who shut down the government. Yes, Republicans are in control of all three houses. But we are in a shutdown right now because of what Democrats did in the Senate by using the filibuster where they got to get 60 votes to keep the continuing resolution from being passed.
And then he perfectly explains how the Democrats are emotionally manipulating the voters.
Don't believe the hype about ending the shutdown for people on food stamps. First of all, what happened in the military? What happened to air traffic controllers? You know what happened, right? They're playing a game. Senator Schumer is now moving the goalposts, right? What's more sympathetic? Air traffic controllers are pretty sympathetic. Well, what's more sympathetic than they? Members of the military who protect our freedoms on food kitchen lines. Okay, what's more sympathetic than them? Poor kids who can't eat. Oh, okay, let's move the goalposts to that. We want a standalone bill only for food stamps. And the other ones can just go fuck themselves.
I legitimately feel like I've been thrown into an alternate dimension.
And that was The Older Millennial. I think that was the one, right? Let's see here. Yes, The Older Millennial. It's an Instagram account. Back in a minute.
What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we the people choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing.
Don't you want healthy children? Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
I come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
This country, and it's the people who are making America great again. Nothing worth doing ever came easy. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Never, ever quit. Never quit. Adversity makes you stronger. Don't give in, don't back down, and never stop doing what you know is right. They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedoms. They're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way.
When they couldn't beat him, they tried to bankrupt him.
President Trump is back in a New York City court.
When that didn't work, they tried to put him in federal prison.
Raided by the FBI.
When that didn't work, they even tried to kill him.
He just tried to kill President Trump.
Donald Trump still stands, ready to fight, ready to win, and ready to make America great again.
This is Donald Trump's house, brother.
This election, we all get to choose. I'm going to choose real American leadership and a real American battle. The 45th and soon to be 47th President Donald J. Trump.
Starting on day one, we will defeat inflation quickly and we will make America affordable again. I will cut your energy costs in half. It's time for the working man and woman to finally catch a break. We are going to bring back the American dream bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. When I'm back in the White House, we will restore world peace, and it will be again peace through strength. I will launch the largest deportation program in American history, and we'll put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. We all salute the same great American flag. Our best days are yet to come. Together, we will make America great again. This is a movement like we've never seen in the history of our country.
Wisconsin is Trump country.
And that's what this fight is all about. We're taking on the failed political establishment and restoring government of, by, and for the people. It's the people. You're the people. You won the election.
We love this country. We love Donald Trump.
Promises made, promises kept.
We support President Trump.
This is epic.
Donald Trump is our president.
With every last ounce of heart and hope and sweat and soul, we are going to make our stand. We are going to stand for liberty. We are going to stand for justice. We are going to stand for freedom. And we are going to stand for the sacred rights given to us by the hand of Almighty God. You joined our movement, the greatest movement in the history of our country. You protected your family. You defended your dignity. You recaptured your destiny. And you took back your country with that great election 2.5 years ago. We are one united movement, one united people, and one United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
You have always been loyal to this nation. Now you finally have a president who is loyal to you. Every day between now and November 2020, we are going to keep on working, we are going to keep on fighting, and we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you. America is a land of heroes. A place where greatness is born, where destinies are forged, and where legends come to life. This is the home of Thomas Edison and Teddy Roosevelt, of many great generals, including Washington, Pershing, Patton, and MacArthur. This is the home of Abraham Lincoln, Frederick Douglass, Amelia Earhart, Harriet Tubman, the Wright brothers, Neil Armstrong, and so many more. This is the country where children learn names like Wyatt Earp, Davy Crockett, and Annie Oakley. This is the place where the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth and where Texas patriots made their last stand at the Alamo. The American nation was carved out of the vast frontier by the toughest, strongest, fiercest, and most determined men and women ever to walk on the face of the earth. Our ancestors braved the unknown, tamed the wilderness, settled the Wild West, lifted millions from poverty, disease, and hunger, vanquished tyranny and fascism, ushered the world to new heights of science and medicine, laid down the railroads, dug out the canals, raised up the skyscrapers. Our ancestors built the most exceptional republic ever to exist in all of human history, and we are making it greater than ever before. This is our glorious and magnificent inheritance. We are Americans. We are pioneers. We are the pathfinders. We settled the new world. We built the modern world. And we change history forever by embracing the eternal truth that everyone is made equal by the hand of Almighty God. America is the place where anything can happen. America is the place where anyone can rise. And here, on this land, on this soil, on this continent, the most incredible dreams come true. This nation is our canvas, and this country is our masterpiece. We look at tomorrow and see unlimited frontiers just waiting to be explored. Our brightest discoveries are not yet known. Our most thrilling stories are not yet told. Our
grandest journeys are not yet made. The American age, the American epic, the American adventure has only just begun. Our spirit is still young. The sun is still rising. God's grace is still shining. And my fellow Americans, the best is yet to come.
Years ago, we took a wrong turn and lost our purpose. We lost the strength that makes Americans who we are. If we dared to speak the truth, it was called hate speech, and our values were labeled shameful. That's when everything we care about fell apart. We surrendered our borders, our paychecks, and our courage. Our patriotism was called toxic. Men could beat up women and win medals, but there was no prize for the guy who got up every day to do his job. Now we're being asked to settle for the way things are. And we're wondering if America can make a comeback. We can, because we've done it before. When we get knocked down, we don't stay down. We get up again. We fight. We fight. We fight.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message. When I first came into office, I cut taxes more than any other president. We have created 7 million new jobs, and it led to a growth like we've never seen before. We developed the greatest economy in history by far. When I left office, it changed. Inflation destroyed the lives of so many people. Interest rates went from 2% to 10%. Millions of illegal immigrants, traffickers, and drugs coming into our country. Our country has gone to hell. So I made a decision to run. We're going to make America great again, greater than ever before. I will fight for you with every breath, and I will never let you down.
President Trump is literally putting his life on the line, and he's willing to risk it all because he loves this country.
He is strong, he is fearless, and he is what this country needs right now.
Our cities will be safe, our streets will be clean, and our border will be secure.
We can't allow our country to be destroyed by politicians who will put their own power ahead of the interests of the American people, our freedom, and our future.
The left told me to hate Trump. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president. We were safer, wealthier, and stronger.
So if you love this country, if you want to stand up and fight for the future of our nation, you must re-elect Donald J. Trump.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message. If I give you one message to hold in your hearts today, it's this. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Relish the opportunity to be an outsider because it's the outsiders who change the world and who make a real and lasting difference. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. You must keep pushing forward.
Thank you. This is Ron, your host, the only true conservative in the United States today, bidding adios to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there and reminding you that determinism is optional.